Welcome to Physics, Introduction to Physics. It is the topic that is the basics of the other topics that will ever follow in your high school life. So it's just a matter of being told what is physics. So when it comes to Introduction to Physics, it's just some of the very simple concepts that everyone actually knows. For example, we need to know what is physics. We need to know that physics is a branch of science, and we also see other subjects which are actually found or which are actually categorized as sciences. We also need to see the branches of physics, and we also need to see the relationship of physics with other subjects, for example with geography or mathematics. Then after that again, because we know very well that physics is a practical subject, we need to study about a laboratory, what is found there, the care that we are supposed to take, and possibly the accidents that sometimes can occur in the laboratory. So welcome to this lesson whereby we are going to just see very few slides concerning Introduction to Physics. Enjoy your lesson. So now physics is one of the subjects that is considered to be a science. So it's a branch of science. The others include chemistry and biology, which the three of them particularly makes science. In primary, the three were considered to be a science, but now here we are separating them. So we are going to study three different subjects: physics, chemistry, and biology. They're very key to a realist. Like whoever is studying science actually is not an idealist, it is a realist, someone who works with facts. So these are the branches of science, and each science studies the physics, the chemistry, and biology. On the other side has their own branches. So in this case, we are going to see again the branches of physics. We are going to see the branches of physics. But for example, chemistry has their other branches. For example, chemistry can be categorized or can be splitted into organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. When you get to biology, there is also split into two. We have the botany and zoology. But physics has very many branches that we are going to see right now after we have known what is physics. So physics is defined as the study of matter and its relation to energy. I repeat, it is the study of matter and its relation to energy. I've been marking exams of students whereby they interchange the word matter with the energy. They say that it is the study of energy and its relation to matter, which is very wrong. We don't study energy, we study matter and how it relates to energy. So stop confusing this. It's something, it's so simple to be confused. There are many things, there are many unknown, unexplainable things that can be explained very well in physics. For example, studying of physics explain the reasons, or it is behind explanation of the phenomena such as falling of bodies towards the ground. Why is it that when you throw a body upwards, it will come down? We will explain this in physics. Rising of liquid through a drinking straw. If you want to take your favorite drink, soda, so you just use a straw and it rises up all the way to your mouth. So it is physics. We have seasonal occurrence of the tides in the sea. A plastic pen or anything that is plastic, any ruler, when it's wrapped by a fire or your air, it can pick small particles or small objects on the ground. A crackling sound is heard when a nylon cloth is removed, and many others. For example, when you brush your shoes, it can attract a lot of dust. So those are some of the things that actually physics will help you to explain. So physics is one of the very interesting subjects that I would advise you to proceed with it, not only in high school level but also in university level. Also, study of physics entails the following. It entails measurements of quantities and collection of data. This one, you will come across it when you will be taking a practical lesson on physics. You will measure quantities, for example, mass, volume, length. Then after measuring it, you collect the data. Drawing and testing of hypotheses through experiments and observation. After every experiment, you have to give your observation and explanation. establishment of laws and principles. Now that you've just come from class 8, you may not know about the laws and principles, but there are laws which is the same as a principle that is guiding you, or that is guiding certain content in physics, which we will also see it as we proceed. Now, if we just need to see the branches of physics, I'll just show you here. You can see my slide. We have mechanism, which can also be termed as mechanics, which is a branch of physics. We have electricity and magnetism. We have thermodynamics. We have geometric optics. We have waves, and then we have atomic physics. Let's see what does each branch means. Mechanics or mechanism, it deals with the study of motion under the influence of force. For example, when you push a tire, it will move. That is mechanics. Why is it moving? Because a force has been applied onto it. Electricity and magnetism, it deals with a relationship between electric field and magnetic field, and their applications in the working of motor, microphones, electromagnets. This is a very interesting topic. This is actually the topic that is making, or it's making physics. All these branches that we are talking about later on, they are just like topics in physics. So we have thermodynamics. It deals with the transformation of heat to and from other objects of energy and the accompanying changes that, for example, in pressure, volume, temperature, etc. So that is it. So that is thermodynamics. Look at this. We have this called geometric optics. First of all, optics is a scientific word for light, just like thermo is a scientific word for heat. So when we talk about geometric optics, it's actually a knowledge about light. So it deals with the behavior of light as it passes through various media. We also study in this branch of physics, we also study about the properties of light, like reflection, refraction, diffraction, and many others that we will check on. We have waves. Waves is a topic that comes later on in physics Form 2 and Form 3. It deals with the propagation of energy through space and effects such as reflection, diffraction of light, and sound waves. That is waves. So in short, it is also giving you a hint that sound and light are waves. Get that very well. Atomic physics is another branch. It deals with the study of behavior of particles constituting the nucleus. When we study about the atomic structure, that is atomic physics. So that is atomic physics, and we will this one we are going to check it very well, especially when we shall be talking about a certain topic which is known as electrostatics. We will deal much about the atomic physics and even electronics in Form 4. So, but just for now, know that it is one of the branch of physics. Now, physics is not a lone subject. It is a subject that can relate to other subjects. For example, now we can see how it relates with geography, mathematics, chemistry, biology, home science, and many others. Now, how does it relate to geography? How does physics relate to geography? When we talk about the relationship, maybe there is a knowledge that physics borrows from a certain subject, or that other subject borrows a certain knowledge from physics. That's what we are looking at. Look at this. We know very well that geography is about weather. That's why the geography students, they walk around as if they can predict whether there is a rain tomorrow or not. They behave like weather experts. Anyway, accurate use of weather instruments like thermometer, wind vane, rain gauge, and any others require physics knowledge. Before you design a rain gauge, for example, wind vane, even thermometer, we require a physics knowledge, which you will still see it later on. Concepts like heat transfer by convection, which explain the formation of convectional rainfall and pressure variation, can be best explained in physics. Now, it is geography depending on physics. Physics and mathematics. Many concepts in physics like laws, effects, principle, etc. are expressed mathematically. So we are borrowing knowledge from mathematics. Mathematical skills are therefore very instrumental in the learning of physics. Yes, we are borrowing those formulas from mathematics. Physics and chemistry. Physics has helped in explaining the nature of particles within atoms and therefore atomic structure of substances. So you see now again, chemistry depends on physics. Atomic structure of different substances determine the reactivity series. So you see now atoms is very well explained in physics, but now chemistry borrows that knowledge. Look at this, physics and history. I know you are not expecting this. How can physics and history depend on each other? Also relax. Also physics and religion still borrows some ideas from each other. So now look at this. Historians use carbon dating to establish the ages of fossils and therefore past patterns of earlier life. You see now when fossils are found, we use what we call carbon dating, which is actually from physics, so that the historians can give a date that the fossils or the animal existed. This concept of carbon dating is explained better in atomic physics. So physics actually is life. Physics and home science. Physics knowledge is used in designing and manufacture of kitchen equipment such as electric cookers, microwave ovens, energy saving jikos, even the ironing box, all those, even the anything that is used in the kitchen that has been designed with the knowledge of physics. Now you see now how the two subjects relate to each other. Then we look at this, physics and technology. Technology is the advancement in the system of the world. So it is the technology, before it advances, the physics knowledge should always be inside there. So machines used in the field of medicine such as x-rays, body scanners and lasers are all applications of physics. Manufacture and use of satellites and microwave dishes used in information technology to relay information is based on physics knowledge. So physics knowledge is also used in defense industry in the manufacture of the most modern and complex machines. So you see how physics is very important. It can't be looked down upon. There was something I was to explain before I explained physics and biology. Physics and religion. You see, maybe I have not placed it here, but I can just explain it. You can hear me very well. So I'm saying this, that physics and religion has a relationship. As far as physics can explain the phenomenon I had mentioned earlier, it reaches a point whereby it cannot explain. For example, at some regions here in Kenya or even outside Kenya, just you need to walk around and see, you will find that there are some stones of white color that has been arranged in a given pattern, and in a given region you will find the black rocks arranged in a given pattern. So the question is, when you try to tell a physics person to explain to you, he would just simply tell you there is God in heaven who is a God of order. So you see now, that is where religion comes in. There are things that exist that you just trace back to the creator, and you cannot explain it using physics knowledge. That is where now the issue of religion comes in. Physics and biology, now we can explain this. Physics and biology. Knowledge of lenses studied in physics has led to the manufacture of microscope used in the study of the cell and diseases. So if you are taking physics and someone is taking biology, so and that person wants to look down upon you, just tell that person, if not for us the physicists, then you people will not be studying about cells, because the microscope you are using, we are the one who designed that microscope. Now that is all about what I was introducing you to. Now, are we studying physics in vain? The answer is no. We are studying physics because we know very well in future it will make your life better. For example, now I'm a teacher of physics, not because of anything, because I took physics in high school. If you don't study physics, you will never be a teacher of physics. You will come and teach history. But now, because I went through 4 years of physics, I went to university also take physics. So you see now, That's why I'm teaching you. So there are terms that I want us to define here. That is career opportunities in physics. We don't study physics in for vain. So we have career, we have the word course and occupation. A career refers to a job or a profession that one has been trained for and intends to do it for a long period of time, e.g. teaching, career, medicine, engineering, electrical technician, and many others. A course refers to lessons in a particular subject. An occupation refers to a job or a profession. Yes, so that is it. Examples of courses offered at university level or degrees that requires physics knowledge. We have Bachelor of Education, Science, for example, teaching physics, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Architecture, Bachelor of Technology, which can be termed as Production Engineering. Then examples of courses offered at a college level that require physics knowledge: Diploma in Civil Engineering, Diploma in Computer Science, Diploma in Water Technology, Diploma in Laboratory Technology. Nice. So now, physics is a practical subject that is done in a lab or a laboratory. So what is a laboratory? Laboratory is a special room designed and equipped for conducting experiments and practicals. We have three main systems in a physics laboratory. Number one, we have a gas piping system, electrical energy supply system, or simply electrical system. Then we have water system. When you go to the lab, try to locate these three types of systems. They are the main systems in a physics laboratory. And then because now because of the three systems, sometimes accidents can occur very fast, and it causes it can cause a lot of danger. So there are rules. There are rules that should be placed in a lab, such that both the teachers, the lab technicians, and the students should follow. Most of the accidents occur in the lab because of carelessness. Because of carelessness. Not of the teachers. Teachers are not careless. Because of the carelessness of the students. Don't quote me wrongly. So now, these are some of the rules. Locations of the electrical switches, firefighting equipment, first aid kit, gas supply, and water system must be noted. Anytime you get to a new lab, just know where the main switch is, where to keep water off, where the firefighting equipment is, such that when there's an accident, you can run to it very fast. Now look at yourself. You don't know even where they are. Windows and doors should be kept open while working in the laboratory. Any instructions given must be followed carefully. Never attempt anything while in doubt. You can ask your teacher. There should be no eating, drinking, or chewing in the laboratory. Ensure that all electrical switches, gas, and water taps are turned off when not in use. When handling electrical apparatus, your hands must be dry. Never plug in foreign materials into electrical sockets. Shirts and blouses must be tucked in and long hair tied up. Or if you cannot tie your hair, you cut it off. Keep floors and working surfaces dry. Any spillage should be wiped off immediately. All apparatus must be cleaned and returned to correct location of the storage after use. Laboratory equipment should not be taken out of the laboratory unless authorized. Any waste after an experiment must be disposed of immediately. Hands must be washed before leaving the laboratory. Now look at yourself how you've been misusing the lab rules. Accidents occur in the lab, and we have to accept that. It always occurs. Even if we try to be very careful, sometimes they have to occur, and when they occur, we don't keep quiet. We have to address the issue. So we have we have some different types of accidents. For example, cuts, burns, poisoning, eye damage, and electrical shock. So what is there is anytime there's an accident, you should know the following: what causes the accident and what are you supposed to do. That is now the first aid measure. For example, cuts. What causes cuts? Poor handling of glass apparatus and cutting tools. For example, scalpels and razors. How are you supposed to respond to it? Seek assistance to stop bleeding. Immediate dressing of the wound. That is applying pressure to stop bleeding. Then we have burns. Naked flames causes burns. Splashes of concentrated acids and bases can also cause burns. So what are you supposed to do? In case of a burn caused by an acid or a base, quickly you put cold water on it and then it will cool. Then we have but if the burn is intense, then you seek medical treatment. You go and see the school nurse. Poisoning. What causes poisoning? Inhaling poisonous fumes, accidental swallowing of poisonous chemicals. I don't know how can you swallow chemicals accidentally, but I know you can do it. Then it has only one remedy. You seek medical assistance. Don't say take a lot of water. No, seek medical assistance. Eye damage. Sometimes solids can get to your eyes or chemicals can get to your eye. So you wash your eye with a lot of clean water. If it persists, you go and see your doctor. Electrical shock. Touching exposed wires can cause it. Using faulty electrical appliances can cause electrical shock. So it has only one remedy. You go and put off the main switch. Don't run to that person because the two of you will become victims. Then, those are some of the the first aid measures, the accidents and what causes them. Before we end the lesson, name 3 branches of science subject in the secondary schools. We've mentioned them. Explain the steps. Now this one you will do it. Explain the steps involved in a scientific approach. Explain. I said we are realists. We have to do what? We have to do the practical, analyze, and then we make conclusion. So work on this question. If you cannot do it, I ask this question in the 4th school. You will be answered. Name and briefly explain the branches of physics. We've done it. Give instances where physics interdependent with agriculture. Even if I never mention it, but you know it. You know the farm tools that depends on physics for them to be made. So that is it. And you can still do this. You have been given a topic of physics, then you give the branch. Measurement is found in which branch? Force, pressure, all the way until the last topic of the topics in physics form 1. You give their branch. Which branch of physics does it belong to? Then by there you will be very well with it. Otherwise, thank you for listening to me. Have a blessed time.